Hi, my name's Ken Benoit. I'm a certified golf course superintendent and executive director of the New York Golf Course Foundation. I recently rode my bicycle around the state of New York, covering over 1,000 miles to raise awareness of the importance for golf facilities to formally adopt best management practices, which are designed to preserve and protect our water resources. Along the way, I spoke with superintendents, university professors, and PGA professionals about the impact BMPs can have at their facility and beyond. We've also discussed specific BMPs that the superintendents have implemented at their facility. This project was made possible by funds awarded to the foundation by the New York State Turfgrass Association through the New York State's Turfgrass Environmental Stewardship Fund. In this video, we'll be speaking with Golf Course Superintendent Ricky Stephanski. He'll talk about the importance of BMPs, as well as share some thoughts on his very successful Pollinator program that he implemented at his club. Hope you liked the video, and please don't forget to give us a thumbs up and subscribe. Thanks. So Ricky, we're here talking about BMPs today.
Yep.
At the beautiful Turning Stone Resort. And before we get into your particular BMP, let's talk about BMPs for golf in general on a macro level. What do you see the value of the BMPs in golf and for its future?
Well, I think the environmental, conservation of it. Superintendents, they have the choice, decision making on everything that goes on the golf course, which has waterways running through it, some along lakes, such like that. And what we put out here, has a long-term effect on everything. And, we want to make the right choices, right management practices, for the future of golf.
Yeah, and then also there's the practical side of it too, which is the building of relationships with non-golf community people.
Yes.
Give me your thoughts on that.
Well, I think there's a lot of people who are very uneducated about golfers. They think we're the mow grass guys, There's a lot more that goes into it that's beneficial than most people know. Outreach with education to people who play here, they stop in and visit, but they can see, that we are, doing things for the environment, such as planting the wildflower beds, beautification just around the whole course, and so they're not seeing just sprayers and stuff like that, staying out of their way and doing the right thing.
Right. So we have that's like a micro level.
Yes.
So these are your community, your fellow community members that you're touching, and we're creating relationships with them. Local government. I'm sure you must have a lot of interaction with local government around here. And the more they see you're doing good things for the environment, the better that relationship is.
Yes.
Right?
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah. So developing these relationships with the community are important. Do you have a water monitoring program here?
Yes, we do.
Tell me about that.
We do annual reports every year for Audubon. We belong to the Audubon Society, International Society. We're actually a signature sanctuary golf course here. So we go above and beyond, what the normal procedures are.
So you were doing BMPs before BMPs were a thing, really?
Yes. Before the golf courses were even thought of in the planning phases, Oneida Indian Nation actually teamed up with the Audubon and designed the course, so it's friendly to the environment. So.
Oh, that's terrific. So you guys are really leading the way, and in fact led the way in this modern evolution of golf,
right?
Which is really following societal trends, right, toward more environmentalism, sustainability, all these important things that we have gotten smarter about,
right,
over the last few decades.
Right.
So here we are at this Pollinator Habitat area that you guys have planted. Tell me a little bit about your program.
Well, a few years back we decided to put wildflower areas in for beautification purposes, to add more color around the golf course. Also backing that was for the honeybees and monarchs, just to improve, habitat for them.
Yeah, yeah. So do we have a sense of how many acres?
Yeah, so we have about 1.5 acres that we've put out here on this course.
Wow.
Yep.
That's a lot of square footage.
Yep.
And what are some of the positive things that you've seen from this? Is there reduced maintenance costs?
Yeah.
Or?
So reduce spray applications, labor. There isn't not much that we do with them. The initial seeding, and that's it for labor.
Yeah. Do you have to mow these down in the winter?
We mow them in the fall. Yeah.
In the fall,
once a year,
yeah.
and we actually have it's called a perennial northeastern blend. So we have them flowers blooming in the spring, in the summer, and then in the fall something.
Yeah. So they're all staggered.
Exactly.
And so you've always got some kind of flower out there.
Exactly.
For the pollinator to forage from.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And is this a part of the Audubon signature program?
It's not a part of the program, but it's one of our initiatives that we created for the golf course for the program.
Yeah.
So.
Right. So that's a massive BMP that you're following here. Well, let's run over to the beehives and take a look at the beehive stuff that you've got going on before we wrap this video up.
All right. Sounds good.
Okay, great. So Ricky, tell me a little bit about the Oneida Indian Nation's commitment to the environment and how that helps guide you guys.
Yeah, they're highly committed to the environment, the conservation of the environment. They have a belief that any actions that is going to impact 7 generations, forward, they want to have the environment in mind.
Right. So it's futuristic thinking.
Yes.
Sustainability.
Yes.
Is the underlying theme.
Exactly. Yep.
Hey, so here we are at the bee boxes. I see a lot of bees flying around these boxes. Tell me a little bit about your program and how did you get started here?
Well, when we first put in all the pollinator habitats, we thought it only made sense, future we're going to get some bees. So the habitats were here already. So last couple years ago, we decided to get the honeybees.
And I hear you have a special connection to the master beekeeper.
I do. Growing up, my father had an apiary, and he had about 12 hives throughout my childhood growing up, and we would go to get the bees, and we would sell the honey off every year, and that was our little hobby.
So I see these hives are really active. Are they pretty healthy to your knowledge?
Yeah, these hives here are really healthy. Actually, we got another swarm we found on the golf course. It was on the driving range. We got called from the pro shop. And
of course, right?
Yep.
Yeah, danger,
Freaking
call the
out.
superintendent.
That's right. So they were looking to exterminate them, and I said, hang on, I'll come check it out. And actually, we captured a wild swarm. So we added to our hives here, and they're doing incredible here.
You captured a wild swarm of bees and made a home for them.
Yes. Yeah.
What goes into capturing a wild swarm?
Believe it or not, there's not much. You got to
clothing, I'm guessing.
Yeah, the personal protective clothing.
Yeah.
Sometimes that doesn't matter.
Yeah,
but
right.
we took one of the boxes and actually just hand scooped them in there with gloves on, of course. But hand scooped them in there. You make sure the queen and the whole swarm goes in there. Leave the box overnight, and if they're in there, they take to the queen.
Now I understand a swarm of bees is not quite so dangerous because they're not in the mode of defending and stinging.
Right.
Is that true?
Right. Yeah. They're looking for a place to set up shop. So they're just moving. They're nice. No one bothers them. They might look scary in the sky if there's a big swarm or something, but they're not going to bother anyone unless you bother them. So.
Super cool.
Yeah.
Well, hey, I want to thank you, Ricky, for having us here at Turning Stone Resort and showing us your pollinator program and talking a little bit about BMPs today.
Yep.
It's just been a heck of a lot of fun seeing your golf course and talking with you.
Well, you're welcome, and thank you for coming out. It's been enjoyable.